Hello, my name is Hava and I'm a senior lecturer at Gordon Academic College of Education in Haifa, Israel. I will talk today about bridging the gap of excellence in Israel by showing how students and programs for gifted students have expanded during the last 15 years to include excellent students currently serving instead of 1 to 3% up to 10% of student population. Israel has come a long way from the first programs for gifted students offered by the Ministry of Education in 1972. Almost 50 years later, more attention is given to the identification of gifted students and inclusion of gifted and excellent students from different cultural backgrounds and students with special needs in various programs. Also considering gender aspects, trying to identify more girls so groups will be of equal numbers. Special programs are also offered to gifted and excellent students at school in the regular classroom. And parents, of course, of gifted students get individual and group support. I identified a few stages of closing this gap. Stage 1 is about identification of special populations, paying careful attention to cultural and gender aspects. Stage 2 is divided into sub-phases, offering suitable, separate, gradual, mixed population programs, supporting gifted students in the regular classroom. Stages 3 and 4 are about individual support of gifted and excellent students and also supporting parents. Regarding the definition of giftedness in Israel, gifted are defined as the top 3% of students identified based on general level of intelligence from 135 IQ, their general learning ability or artistic talent, specific learning excellence, and motivation and creativity. Relating to their IQ, students who show high ability in each of the disciplines and also motivation and creativity levels above the 50th percentile. Definitions of excellence are a little different. They regard the top 10% of students in each grade level of an IQ up to from 125 up to 135, showing high ability in each discipline and also showing motivation and creativity above the 50th percentile. The Division for Gifted and Outstanding Students identifies gifted and excellent yearly, starting from second or third grade, depending on the area, and in all sectors using a 3-step process: screening, identification, and interview. Screening is performed at school based on teacher recommendations, testing, reading comprehension, and math. Identification of the 20% of recommended students is performed out of school in group tests, testing general cognitive ability, abstract thinking, and logics. And these are not connected to school subjects. When students are assigned to different programs, the head of the program invites them for interviews. Identification also takes into consideration language and culture and special circumstances. Tests are basically performed in 2 languages, Hebrew and Arabic, and are culture sensitive. Regarding gender, identifying more girls as gifted and excellent, preferably having equal numbers of boys and girls in each class. Tests for special circumstances look at the fact that students are new immigrants, and also if the students are returned citizens who stayed abroad for at least 4 years before the test, students studying in a different language 2 years before taking the test, and they are tested in one of the 3 languages, English, French, or Russian, and students with special needs, ADHD, physical impairment, or health impairment, and they are offered special tests or accommodated tests. Identification and placement means that after they are identified, based on the results of the second step of identification, information is sent to the parents, and it stays confidential. Parents get invitation letters indicating which programs are available for their children, and these students are invited for interviews by the heads of selected programs. Some programs are free of charge, like the self-contained classroom in the regular school, or we can call it the gifted classroom. And some other programs require additional payment by parents, like the pull-out program or the Gifted Education Center. There are different types of programs for gifted students, from pull-out enrichment centers that cater for students from 3rd to 9th grade, gifted classes or self-contained classes in regular comprehensive schools from grade 3 to 12, programs in high school, and also special mentoring program for highly gifted intended for 10th and 11th grade students. There are also national and international competitions that students can participate in, and virtual school from middle school and high school. Regarding programs for gifted students in elementary and middle school, there are 2 main programs. There's a program for gifted education in Gifted Education Pull-Out Center, and the other is the self-contained classroom. There are 58 gifted education centers operating as pull-out programs located in rural areas. Jewish students go there once a week instead of going to the regular school. Arab, Druze students attend during weekends. Of the 58 centers, 17 are for Arabic-speaking students and 39 are for Hebrew-speaking students. And 2 are mixed, in which Jewish and Arab or Druze students study together. 30% of the centers are for Arabic-speaking students, who are actually only 20% of Israel's population. Students from 3rd to 9th grade attend for a full day and can choose from a variety of courses offered by expert certified teachers. There are 42 schools in urban areas that offer self-contained classes for gifted, and there are only 4 schools for Arab and Druze students. Regarding programs for excellent students, there are many programs, but the 2 main ones are enrichment in the pull-out centers or gifted education centers, and enrichment in the regular school. The top 2% of excellent students are invited to attend the Centers for Gifted Education once a week from noon, so that they will be able to attend these courses without missing classes at school. As you can see, there's a variety of programs offered, and next I will elaborate on the enrichment program for gifted and excellent students in the regular school. The enrichment program in regular school is offered to the top 5 to 10% of students in the 3rd to 9th grade. Currently, approximately 3,000 students from 700 schools in all sectors take part in the different courses offered by almost 3,000 teachers teaching courses designed by them. The content of the course is different than school, and the social moral values are incorporated. This special enrichment program is based on the school-wide enrichment model, SEM, by Renzulli, starting with exposure to fields of interest, then acquiring research skills and tools, and focusing on independent research. Teachers are required to attend the professional development program offered by the Ministry for Developing Courses. Supporting gifted in the regular classroom is divided into school support and ministry support. School Educational Board or Steering Committee needs to pay attention to the needs of gifted and excellent students studying in the regular classroom. They need to ensure that the students are offered suitable individualized programs that are challenging and that they develop their abilities. Regarding the ministry, there's a professional development program offered by the ministry, and a team of ministry supervisors and pedagogical guides offers this professional development program to teachers and schools dealing with gifted students and also individual students. Schools and principals can apply and will receive help upon request. Individual support of students, mainly gifted students, includes closing the language barrier, social emotional support, and support of monitoring the learning at regular school. Closing the language barrier and emotional support for Arab-speaking students who study in mixed gifted education centers means that they need to learn Hebrew during the years of elementary school when they attend these special programs, and they have a special class to teach them Hebrew so that when they get to middle school, they can join the mixed group. Social emotional support for gifted students is offered by an educational consultant available in each gifted education center. These consultants work closely with the teacher and parents and offer individual sessions for students who face different types of difficulties. Monitoring the learning in the regular school is done by Gifted Education Center staff, which is being closely in touch with the school. And there is a coordinator at school, and among the coordinator's responsibilities is the requirement that they keep a close look at the students, performance, considering grades and also social emotional performance, and keeping an open line of communication with staff at the Center for Gifted Education. Parental support is also divided into several categories. There's a special portal for parents organized by the Ministry of Education, where they are offered information, and they can also use the portal, the forum by the portal, and ask different questions and contact other parents. Educational counselors often offer group meetings at centers for gifted education on specific relevant topics, and also offer individual meetings with parents alone or parents with students when parents and students face challenges at home or at school. In summary, we can see that bridging the gap of excellence in Israel is applied by widening the circle of identification to include 10% of students, relating to culture, gender, and individual differences, offering special programs and supporting schools, teachers, students, and parents as well, encouraging the design of courses that offer enrichment and encounter with subjects that are not standard curriculum, using innovative teaching learning strategies, and developing students' cognitive, emotional, and social abilities. Thank you very much for listening.